Hello everyone, my name is Ikamake, or as I am on ESO, Marquee Captain, and today I will be commentating a game of base defense as per the request of player 2. And let's go! I'm going to be playing Sue. I play any 7 base defense. Sue isn't particularly good. Bow Rider are pretty OP, but they're not that OP because in base defense, often enough, one player or two players, or maybe 3 players, all players will spam light infantry. Kind of stupid. Usually players of a lower rank only make 1 unit, so spamming Bow Rider, me making 1 unit, that can be kind of difficult. Anyway, I'll probably be going maybe 15-ish Bow Rider. A couple Seton Bow and also X Riders, and now my music is too loud. That's pretty. Off to a great start. Alright, so this is very important. The first action we're going to do is turn down the sound because it is way too damn fucking loud. Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ. So annoying. Anyway, upgrade this, control 1, control 2. Make some Seton Bows, make some Bow Riders. Do I have hotkeys? No, I don't. No good. I don't want X Riders, I want Bow Riders. Now we delete the pillars, we go to our Wonder, set it to HP, although we do have all ranged units, so being ranged wouldn't be that bad, but I like HP more, so that's what we're gonna do. So I have 10 Bow Riders, 15 Seton, make some more Bow. Are those enemy units? That's funny. I just ran them right into... That's fine. So really right here, there's not much to say. 3v3, there's a little bit less micro, or at least better to say macro, because it's not very difficult micro, if you could consider it micro at all. It's usually just unit positioning, sometimes pulling a specific unit back. My teammate shouldn't engage his tomahawks here. I don't know why he's doing that. I'm going to train some X Riders because this heavy infantry meat shield is going to thin out very quickly, especially since there's only 1 player we're fighting and there are 3 of us. So now my axe. So pretty much I can just attack move right here, and once these X Riders arrive, I'm not going to be losing any of my ranged mass because these X Riders are going to be sponging the obvious shot fire. So I'm free to just attack move, and attack move. I'm gonna pull these back according to the Naginata that are coming in. I'm gonna make some more Bow Riders, some more Setons. I'm actually taking a lot of damage right here. This blue player has his units in the formation of a little rainbow, which is the most optimal formation for musketeer units to be in because that means maximum damage output, least overkill. My range of mass is pretty much dead. I've not even been looking at my production facilities. Why are these going forward? Those shouldn't be going forward. So pretty much I'm doing a really bad job right here of keeping popped, of doing a lot of things, but oh well. I shouldn't be engaging my Bow Rider here, but it doesn't matter that much. So now he has no more infantry, so these... I'm going to wrap 2 more around, so it's harder for him to retreat, but he has musketeers here, so it doesn't really matter. So here he's not doing anything to defend it, so I'm just going to take them all out. And now I have a decent ranged mass with my Seton bows. I'm going to make some bow riders because if they were to make any cavalry, which they should, because I mean, look at our light infantry mass, we have pretty much no protection. It would be beneficial to have like 5 bow riders in the back. I'm going to lead my axe riders to the expo. Actually, I'm not attacking most of the expo, I'm attacking some musketeers, but that's fine because the purpose of these axe riders going into the center like that is so they sponge damage. 30% range, 20% range resist. It's just smarter to have your heavy cavalry taking the brunt of the attack of your opponent's force. This way, you're minimizing the kills he's getting and you're maximizing your ranged output. I'm going to be saying that a lot, ranged output, things like that, because it makes sense. I'm keeping popped terribly right now. Very poorly. So he puts them in melee, I just run them back. And look how many he's going to lose right here. He killed 1 unit, he's lost 4. I'm going to train some more axe. See, this is what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't only make 1 unit. Even as Sioux, which have pretty strong bow rider that are kind of spammable, it's not a good idea to make 1 unit. Because see this player right here? He's lost maybe 5 obus and he's killed 2 sours here, so that's not a good trade for him. So what I'm doing is I'm making all three of the viable units that I can make. Making Seton bows, making axe rider, making bow rider. There's no reason why you shouldn't do this. You always use both of your production facilities. And if you're Ottoman, you use all 3. So this Spanish player isn't doing that bad, although he should be making Huss. Up to him, whatever. I don't want these bow riders engaged with Ashigaru and Yumi. I've actually wasted most of the bow rider that I've been making this game pretty foolishly. I could pretty much be going just pure axe Seton, because that would break his Ashi Yumi composition. And I accidentally grabbed some more cap than I wanted. So I just pull this one back, and this guy will follow. Actually, I'm too slow. Or maybe it was too laggy. Or maybe I'm too slow. I'm too slow. If you have like 5 Huss targeting 1 of your cavalry, just pull back the 1 cavalry that's getting attacked. The others will follow, and your units will still be dealing damage. So yeah, I've been really bad with my production. I guess that's because I'm talking. I'm not sure. So pretty much I can just spam axe. It doesn't matter that he has his musketeers here, because my ranged backing is just slaying them all as they come up. Right here I should probably pull them back, because those are in melee. He's going to target that one. I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to pull these 2 back because that's what they're targeting. And while I'm microing, to some extent, I'm also not keeping my pop-up. That's just because I'm bad. So you look at all these ones that are following. These are all free kills. So really you want to be using melee mode when you do use it pretty conservatively. Although it can be very, very powerful when it's used right. But it's not being used right by my opponents right here. So I will take advantage of that. I have a lot of Seton bows. See, these guys are not making any cavalry at all. This is not a challenge. Oops. So these rods are actually pretty dangerous. But I can just run around the back. Sure, there's lone ones right there. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna engage. Doesn't matter. Now he's doing something smart. So I'm gonna use my cav to match his cav and focus on one of the hussars with all my range mass. Gonna make some bow rider to counter that. And so the hussies made, I've successfully blocked. Haven't lost as many Seton though as I could have if he had microed his hussar as well. So now in the cav battle, now that I have these bow riders that are running instead of shooting, I'll actually win. So my say he has 10 Huss, I have 5 axe riders, 5 bow riders. I'll win that. And actually, axe riders aren't the best option here. They're pretty weak, they don't have a lot of HP, and this is just a huge range amassed by my opponents. Which just make low cavalry HP not so viable. So this Ottoman guy got to Fortress Age just because he's Ottoman. Doesn't really take a brain to use Ottoman. Now I'm Fortress Age. Upgrade my units. And now I can start going Wakina, Rifle Rider, and Axe Rider. It's fine to have my cavalry engage these musketeers even though they have a bonus versus cavalry, simply because this game is based on kills and not based on cost effectiveness. What is my hotkey? My hotkey is W for Rifle Riders. Gonna make some more axe because this is pretty weak. See how thin this musketeer anti-cavalry layer is, and all of my units do well against this these musketeers. So this guy shouldn't be making any more musketeers. He's Spain. He should have aged already. So now their army is thinning out, and mine is perfectly fine. Look at this. He's just feeding into me. What you should do, what my enemy should do in this case, is you should pull back. As a team, they should pull back. And also, my team should be making cavalry. Look at this. This is completely unprotected. That's really easily abusable. So I'm just gonna mass up some cav behind my teammates while that's going on, and then I'll come from behind. Set this to 3. Make some more Rifle Rider. I didn't come in from the side. It's still fine. So I'm just gonna get in between their ranged infantry. I actually did a pretty poor job right there. But see, they're just gonna tear through. It doesn't matter. They're like not in a great position. Okay, it does. Anyway, I'm doing a terrible job keeping popped right here. I don't have enough anti-cavalry, although he is feeding into me, so it doesn't quite matter. Rifle Riders are really good. They're really strong, but they have a melee resistance instead of a range resistance. So these Yumis are really powerful against them. So I'm going to want to keep them back and only focus them on heavy cavalry and heavy infantry, unless I have a unit that can sponge range damage, like my Axe Riders. So right here I have, actually now that my heavy cavalry have died, this isn't that good. But since I have a constant flow of heavy cavalry, this is good for me. And these musketeers that are coming in from the side are dying to my rifle riders that are coming from the side. And now I just overrun them with my cavalry. Teammates are getting butt pummeled by Huss. I don't care. I'm gonna split the shot. What this does is it makes these group of Wakina target one unit, and these ones target another, because using attack move alone doesn't stop overkill. What you want to do is you want to be avoiding overkill. That's the most important thing. Usually attack move, when it's in this like vertical strand, helps with that, but it not how do I say this? It doesn't all the time, so it's best to use it sparingly, especially when it's a little laggy like this. I'm pulling in my units closer, and I failed with the attack move there. I'm pulling in my units closer, though, so these Huss have less surface area to attack my units. So now I have a few too many rifle riders. I'm going to make some more axe, so I can sponge this very big ranged mass. And now the Ottoman is industrial because he's Ottoman. Should be making some more Wakina. Actually, these Wakina right here shouldn't be focused on those Huss. That's not a good thing. What are they doing? Oh my gosh. That's no good. So pretty much I'm just making Wakina and Axe Rider right now. Even though I'm actually struggling to keep popped. Even though I'm using both of my production facilities all the time. That's not good. So now I'm just gonna make them come in from an angle that I want them to come in. That wasn't that great. But it's too laggy to be able to micro them any which way. And now here come the Lancers. Now here's where Spain becomes actually not shit. Because he can challenge my big massive Wakinas. So now I'm industrial. Upgrade the units that I have most of first. So now the orange is on me. That just means I spam axe. I don't know how much I agree with these cavalry archers. You could just be making Jan Huss, Obus Jan Huss, and it's fine. You don't really need cav archers, because they'll just run up and die. So this is actually pretty bad. His Obus are really doing a number on my Wakina. Until I get units that can sponge ranged damage, like these right here. Now I should bring up my Wakina, so that they're doing damage, even damage around his units, especially to his Obus, which I'm not doing a good job of right here. Except now I'm pretty much overwhelming his Obus. He has these guard cavalry archers in the back, that's pretty good of him. So once these Obus die, I'll just be targeting these cav archers. I'm going to bring these into the middle of their ranged mass. So actually this is looking really good for me. Just look at this. Look at all this red. That's what you want. Except it's really laggy because I'm recording and I'm a noob and I have a noob computer. So really there's not much to do. A big thing, just hotkey your buildings. So I have never looked away from this fight. Lag. Uh-oh, now he has Huss. This is what he wants. Now I actually have to train a Feed Rifle Rider. But I'm just gonna block his Cav Mass with my Cav Mass. That's not gonna do that much. Decrease the surface area. I'm gonna target his Cav Archers. So there his Cav die, and I still have a few Cav left. So pretty much, I don't think we're going to be able to win this. This Iroquois is still in H2. And we don't have any siege units. Iroquois, India, Sioux. That's not good. But it doesn't matter. Pretty much we're all going to get to Imperial and then resign or something. Maybe we get pushed back and they start sieging. Or maybe Japan makes a samurai box and something like that. I don't care. But pretty much this is a way you get a lot of kills in base defense and look pro. Sometimes you can win it if your opponent is bad enough and you can actually siege. We're not going to be able to siege. I want to make some more. I want to make a different unit. I think I have too many axe. Because he's going to counter this big axe mass that I have going on soon. So now from the side he has Janissaries and Cavalry Archers, so this isn't a good engagement. I'm still going to take it because I don't have anywhere else to go. I'll come around the side from here because this is undefended. I still have a big ranged mass, which I should actually replenish. And see, these Yumis are dealing damage to these Tomahawks and Gurkhas, which is what they want to do, but now they're dealing damage to the Axe Riders, which they don't have a multiplier against. So these are sponging damage, while the ranged... These are sponging my enemy's damage, while we are dealing damage. A lot of damage. This is what I want. This is what you want. This is what everybody wants. So now they're pretty compacted, so my Axe Riders aren't going to be as effective. And pretty much this is the limit of what can be done in base defense. It's pretty laggy, so there's not going to be any trickery here. We're just going to make units get to Imperial, and then nothing's going to happen. Pretty much I'm just attack moving here. There's not much use in me splitting the shot because I already have a pretty good formation. This is pretty wide, so that's about as good as it can go. And these Iroquois Tomahawks are in front of my units, so I can't really split the shot without running into these units, which isn't good. So now my Axe Riders aren't going to be effective anymore because they're behind their walls. So if I were a civ that could actually siege buildings, I would probably start to try and do that over here. But I don't have any siege units, so I'm just going to move over here and maybe divide them up. I don't know. There's not much that can be done. So now he has a shitload of these things. It's not going to do him any good. I focused down one Lancer with my entire mass. Okay, it did him pretty good. So yeah, they're backed up. This guy's probably spamming Lancer now. Exactly as I thought. So now we're at their gates. Nothing can be done. Not much to be said. Pretty much the same of everything I've said before. Just making, spamming Axe Rider, Okina, Rifle Rider. Even if we get Imperial, we're not going to be able to siege. This guy's Imperial because he's Ottoman. That's just what Ottoman do. I'm Imperial. Not a big surprise. I should have gotten that. This makes my units, my Okina train faster. I should have gotten that a long time ago. I should have gotten that at the start. When it's first available, but I'm a noob, so. Pretty much we're just waiting for the game to end so we can see the kill-death ratio. I have no anti-cav. It doesn't really matter because this range mass is so huge that these lancers aren't going to do that much. Just collapse the innards so he has less surface area. He's running more than he's attacking. Easy. I'm going to keep these rifle riders in back and put them in stand ground. Making my shots even. You want to be, what is it, perpendicular with your opponent's units when you attack and move for maximum efficiency. So now his lancers can't do jack shit because I'm 2 ages ahead and I have plenty of anti-cav. And this guy's using Expo. That means he should just make like Musk, Lancer, Goon, Huss, Rodolero. You don't really need skirms. Maybe versus huge mass like this you do. I don't know. Sucks to be him. So actually, now that he's doing that, I don't know where the hell purple is coming from. Actually, purple's completely gone. Purple's AFK, so I'm just gonna start sieging. Because there's nothing they can do. He can try and come over here with a few units. It's not gonna do anything, because I can just kill him. Especially since they're goons, that does nothing. So I'm just gonna make Rifle Rider here. Because he's gonna try and spam Lancers at me. Oh my gosh, I wanna pick. Yeah, so now he's trying to spam cav at me so I won't siege. But it doesn't matter because I have Rifle Riders. Ah, shit, they're actually dealing a lot of damage. That's just because of Wakina's suck animal cock. Excuse my vulgarity. Where the fuck did all my rifle riders go? I lost a shitload there. I'm just gonna continue to siege because actually purple's completely gone. He probably went AFK. I don't know why they wouldn't ask for a pause. I would give it to him, but oh well. I don't want any more of those. 16 is plenty in terms of rifle riders. They just die so fast, look at that. actually I could send these to my teammates because they're kind of getting their butts handled. I'm gonna stop sieging because it's not gonna get repaired, so I don't have to worry about that. Just attack. This isn't a good engagement for me. Obus behind walls. Ottoman are the best civ in the game, at least for base defense. Maybe behind, what are they called? India, just because India can make 5 mahouts and not give the enemy any kills. Just collapse what he's targeting, so these are running rather than shooting. Spread out my units. Oh my god, I'm losing way too many. Rifle Rider here. That's how weak they are. I was just killed them so fast. So now he can spam some more cavalry and actually deal some damage. It doesn't really matter that it's 3v2. Because this game could just stay in the middle and fight. And neither of us would be able to push because I think they're, yeah, like neither of us can siege. We're all going to be Imperial soon. We both have one guy that's an H3. Just collapse what he's targeting. And pull back these Rifle Riders because I don't want Obus targeting them. Because they're so weak to ranged attacks. Although my attack move failed, so. Now my teammate's just gonna siege. Don't siege like that. Get as close to the wall as possible with all your units. Now he's only sieging with like a third of his army. It doesn't matter though, because it's just a scenario. Not getting stressed. Oh my gosh, so laggy. I can't move my units. So I just move my units. This is what you want to do. That's how you siege a building. Oh shit, that's a lot of Lancers. I should stop making Okina. I should only make cavalry now. Little trick, if you're sieging a segment like this, it'll destroy the segments next to it, and you can destroy another. You can start sieging with like one of your units, the segment next to it, and then it'll also siege. It'll also change refer the damage to all of these. I don't know how to explain that. It's a weird kind of glitch thing. Get that out of my face. And now I just siege. If purple didn't leave, we still would have been fighting in the middle. That's pretty much how it would go. Now just attack move, because his obus are too close. So laggy. Pretty much what happens here doesn't matter. Actually, my teammates are kind of being dumb. So annoying. So now I'm fighting the Ottoman. This is a bad engagement. This is a terrible engagement. because I don't have any hand cap right now. So his Huss are actually going to deal a shitload of damage. And while my rifle riders are killing his Huss, his Obus are dealing a lot of damage. Now it's a good engagement. But I don't have a big enough massive Akinas. So it's actually hard to say. My units train so slow, it seems. See, look at this. It's retarded. I can't challenge it at all. Unless I made like a fucking cav box, in which case he would just run behind as well. As Ottoman is retarded. It's not that he's playing bad, but you don't really need to play well to use Ottoman. Not that I'm complaining, although I am complaining. I don't really care. See, like, I have way too much stuff in queue. I don't know why our teammate resigned. Now it's actually 2 versus 2. I'm just gonna completely retreat. I can't hold this engagement with that. So that's pretty much the end of it. He can just defend this all day. Well, maybe not right now. If he wanted to, he could. So maybe I'll be able to siege it down. No, I won't. I just can't siege it down with these units when we're even in tech. Why are these back there? So now I just collapse. If it wasn't so fucking laggy, I just collapse. I range to mass. And see, now his cav mass is gone. I still have a few. These shouldn't be there. Although they're all dead anyway, because lag. Fun. You should always have 2 counters to heavy cavalry. So you're gonna have one at one end and another at another end. So he should have howdahs and sepoys. Oh shit. I'm just gonna let all my units die. I'm not gonna train any more new units. Here I would target a unit. My units are good against. Okay, that's it. Pretty much. I'm gonna split up my cav so that I can get better surface area. He should pull this back, but he's not trying either anymore, so that's the end of that. So this is actually going to dilute my kill-death ratio because I'm going to lose like 40 units here and he's going to lose like 10. I don't really care though. I was going to tell my teammate to stop trading units, but whatever he wants. And that's the end of that. Good game. Funny. So now you can look at my kill-death ratio. 1400 to 1000 against Ottoman. Although, Budana is saying that he couldn't build skirm. Oh well. So that's that. Pretty much everything to be learned has been learned. India and Ottoman are OP, followed by Japan. I don't know why he didn't have skirms. Maybe that's just a glitch in the player 5 slot. Because, like, India in the player 6 slot, they'll only get 2 stables. And one of the stables they can't train out of, so they won't get any infantry units if they're in the player 6 slot and if they're playing India. Weird glitch. Esterbauer played well. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Anyway, I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed watching. My name has been BecomeaK, and I will see you all later.